Welcome back, everybody, to episode 2 of the Side Quest Saga, and today we'll be attacking Attack on Titan. This episode is called The Weight of Freedom, but before we dive into the episode, I want to thank everyone for showing massive love and support to our first episode. We are new to the podcast scene, and we are doing our best to give you guys something worth listening to, and we took your feedback and improved our audio, as you guys can hear. With me today are the usual host. We have Wash and Money, and I'm going to let them get started because I am a rookie in the realms of Attack on Titan. I'm about halfway through the first season. I tried my hardest to catch up, but work has been working and life has been lifing, so
it's not even that many episodes though.
Hey, it's 100 episodes.
Bro, you ain't missing nothing.
It's 100 episodes. See, that's crucial right there. I can't say I just finished the Battle of Trost, and what I can say first off is
you don't know what's going on, do you?
But how was it though? How was it though?
It's good. Because they talk about, obviously they show the backstory of Eren Yeager, and they show Armin and Mikasa, and you see kind of they're like, well, the reason why they wanted to be in the army, or what is that what they call it? I can't remember off the top of my head. The scouting unit. So you kind of see like exactly why. But for me, I think it's good to see that because it kind of gives a character progression. But that's just my opinion. I think it's worth it. I think seeing that point of view, it kind of, because it would be weird if they just jumped in and you see them as scouts. Like you see them training, learning how to use the lines and all that stuff. And so for me, it's crucial to the story.
All right, come back in season 4, bro.
Okay.
Come back in season 4, give me that opinion. But you know what, just to, kind of clean it up a little bit, just to make it like conducive, let's just do a quick recap of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I will say, full disclaimer, I'm a little country. My accent, I can't pronounce everything correctly, so
that's all right. We're perfectly imperfect here.
No, you need to say it right.
Do we want to go to what you was doing? Because we can cut that in.
I need to enunciate.
I got a list, but sorry.
I need to enunciate.
But all right, Attack on Titan, just a quick 1-minute recap. Humanity hides behind 3 massive walls to survive against man-eating titans. Side note, these titans are completely naked as well. But one day, a colossal titan breaks through Wall Maria, and the main protagonist, Eren Yeager, his mother is actually eaten. Traumatized by this, Eren swears to kill every single titan. He joins the military with his 2 best friends, Mikasa and Armin, but during their first battle, Eren is eaten, only to transform into a titan himself, shocking everyone. So humanity then learns that some humans are titans. Eren ends up fighting alongside the Survey Corps, but betrayal follows. Annie is the female titan, and Reiner and Berthold are revealed as the armor and colossal titans who destroyed the wall initially, which sparked all of these events. In his father's basement, Eren discovers the truth. Their people, the Eldians, are trapped by the outside nation of Marley, which uses titans as weapons. Realizing that the world will never stop hating his kind, Eren ends up unleashing the rumbling, sending millions of titans to destroy humanity. His friends turn against him, and in the end, Mikasa kills Eren, ending both his life and the titan curse. Humanity is free, but the cost of freedom is everything. Right?
That was good. That was a good segue.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird. I'm just going to say this. I thought it was weird how, like, in the first season, he's fighting, like, the Titan, and it just disappears.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, it's definitely some, like, obviously, like, I'm on the surface right now. I'm scratching.
What part are you talking about?
In the first season.
When, who is it? Eren goes to fight the Titan, the whatever you called it.
The Colossal?
The Colossal Titan, yeah, excuse me. And he goes to attack it, and it disappears.
Yeah.
So,
but you know why you don't know why.
No. So like I said, I thought it, I was like, damn, that's weird. But obviously I know I'll get to it eventually, but I thought it was weird. I was like,
they kind of never really explained how he did it, but you will see how he did it.
I think to segue off of that, and pretty much what the basis even of this episode is, first question really is, how much is freedom worth? So Money, let's start with you.
How much is freedom worth?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was worth it.
Yeah. Or how much is freedom worth in and of itself?
I feel like that's a loaded question, honestly. I feel like if it comes down to my freedom, it's worth everything. I'm willing to do everything for my
Yeah,
freedom.
so you're saying somebody else's freedom ain't worth it?
I'm willing. I mean,
Fuck yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
I'm just saying though, like if it's me in Aaron's position,
You would have done the same?
I'm not gonna go to the full extent. He did. Like, he did a lot. You know what I'm
Bro
saying?
was psychotic, bro. Like,
Man, he
girl
went
was
on
off his rocker for
He
real.
went on a Genghis Khan type mission or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll go that far, but I would definitely go above and beyond to like have me and my loved ones, my friends, my family try to live a better life. If we stuck on like this island and we steady getting attacked, and I got the power to make a change, I'm definitely gonna try to make a change.
Okay.
Definitely gonna try to make a change. But if we talking about was freedom worth what he did specifically, I don't know if I could rock with that. I can't go off the ledge with what he did. He did a lot.
For sure.
He did a lot.
Crunk, I know you haven't got through all of it yet. Well, what's your take so far?
I think so far, this is just my initial opinion, so I think it's going to change dramatically as I get through the show. But I think so far, it is worth it, in my opinion. Like, the cost of freedom is everything. So it obviously, when it's my freedom or someone else's freedom, because when you look at it in the show, it's like more so like a lot of modern society. You think about it, because, you know, the scouts go out and fight, and then you have the kings who live on the inner walls. So it's like, you know, these people are fighting every day, and then you see the one episode in the beginning of the season, like the king is like playing chess.
Yeah.
And, you know, the one guy leaves because he's the only guy who can fight the colossal titan or knows how to, like, fight the titans properly. So I think, yes, it is in a grand scheme of things. Like, that first season, like, that episode there just kind of reminded me of, like, society in general, because you see, like, our government, you know, you have people that sit there and they do, you know, political stuff, and then it's like, oh, well, this doesn't affect us. And that's how they were comparing it to the colossal titan. You know, it was only a problem because it was affecting them,
Right.
in their realm. But I think the cost of freedom is worth everything in that sense, because, you know, even if no one fights, they lose everything. So if the scouts weren't there, then they would have had nothing, because what little they did defend or against, like, the normal titans, if those titans would have just broke through from the colossal titans and no one was there, then it would just wiped out all of the population.
Right.
So of course it's worth it.
Yeah. I would say freedom is the underlying motive, probably in the collapse and rise of empires across time. I mean, that really is the basis of it. And you often see that struggle for freedom coinciding with the fight against, like, oppression, tyranny, and
100%.
corruption. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of underlying morals in
Right.
that first, for me, in the first season, there's a lot of underlying morals that kind of set the pace.
Yeah.
For the actual episodes.
Yeah, and you can see so many parallels with that.
Yeah.
However, to me, I don't think Eren represents a symbol of freedom, more so vengeance. And
Yeah, of course, 100%.
and what it looks like to be
100%.
lost to that path.
100%.
I mean, because the extents that he went through, again, this is kind of one of my main gripes against the show, because they focus so much on the morality, you know what I mean? Of, you know, okay, well, this is right and this is wrong. And then the end of the show is such a gray area, in my opinion.
What was gray in the end? What do you think was gray?
I think Eren is definitely a symbol of the gray area for me. Because he didn't have to do that, bro. 80% of the world.
He didn't have to do that.
He did not have to
He
do
didn't
that.
have to do that.
Come on,
He didn't
that
have
one
to do
crashed out.
But look, everybody, you watched it, right? You watched it from the first season. You wanted his ass to turn up too. We all wanted him to turn up. And when he turned up, it was a problem. Now, this is what I will say, though. I agree with you. I don't think that Eren represents like freedom, or, you know, trying to fight for freedom. Especially when you get towards the end of the show. And you see, like, all the shit he was doing behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? He manufactured a lot of stuff too. I think it was straight up vengeance. I think he was clouded. I don't know what made him turn that way, though, where he started destroying the population. Oh, damn. Should I say that?
Maybe he felt.
We done already spoiled it, bro.
Maybe he felt that if he, and maybe this is just my opinion because I'm from the outside looking in. Maybe he felt that if he did destroy 80% of the population, then what's left for the Titans?
Hold on, bro. Come on now. Let's put this into perspective. That one
That's a lot of people, but
let's put this. That one island could maybe represent maybe 2%,
yeah,
max of the world population, right?
But do you agree with it though? Like if in the grand scheme of things, right? If you say it's a revenge arc, if he has to kill 80% of the population, and basically say like, these 20% will live, but they won't be attacked anymore because the Titans will they don't have anything left.
Yeah.
Is that a worthy cause, or is it unjustifiable still?
I still feel like it's unjustifiable because how they laid out the actual storyline, and how different elements came into play, I just feel like there are nuances that Eren was not taking into account when he went about things the way that he did. Right.
Fair enough.
So I just think it was very short-sighted, very tunnel vision, a very easy way to make
go about it.
Yeah, to go about the story. And I just felt like there should have been a little bit more restraint in how he did that. Because again, maybe 80%.
Maybe he just got
you're gonna spend the next couple centuries trying to rebuild basic technology.
Maybe he just got to a point where he says, you know what, screw it. I'm tired of fighting. I don't want to do this.
I think that's what he came around.
So it's like, and then you have to think about it too. When you're fighting for, even just look at it in realistic terms, fighting for even 50% of the population.
Yeah.
It becomes like, the weight of the world becomes unbearable at some point.
You gotta start making hard decisions.
You have to start doing something. So I think
it's a stretch though.
It is a stretch now, yeah. But again, when you have to think about it in terms of how they're looking at it, maybe they don't know. Maybe it's not enough of them. And of course, everyone is not going to be, you can only train so many people. It's just like modern militaries. You can only train so much.
Bruh, his main gripe was that motherfuckers came in and stomped out his mom, basically.
He had that right.
That was one of his struggles in the beginning.
We all believe that. In the end,
I'm just saying that was one of his struggles, though. That was one of the things he leaned on.
But maybe,
and then you came out and snuffed out 80% of the population.
Maybe that's just the price to pay for his mother dying.
See, now you gotta finish. What I don't know if I want to go into details because
probably.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck it.
You don't mind we doing spoilers, right?
No.
All right, so he
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen reels and shorts and stuff on YouTube. So honestly, I'm just catching up. It's not a spoiler for me. It's almost like me spoiling Demon Slayer for y'all.
No,
which I apologize, but
I'm gonna watch it. Be honest.
So that's the same with me.
So the whole situation is with his mom. He set that up. He's the one who put that together. He's the reason why the Titan went in there and ate his mom, so he could see it, so he can have that hate towards Titans.
Okay. I mean, this didn't happen in season 1, right?
Nah.
You only find this out to the end of season 4. Yeah. That's the problem.
Eren is the problem.
I think I'm thinking of who's it? Armin? Not Armin.
No, Eren is the one who saw his mom get eaten.
Yeah.
But after he
no, she was the one that got crushed by the house, right? Who was that?
Yeah.
Season 1?
Yeah.
For sure. Crushed by the house?
Yeah, and then the Titan came in.
Then the Titan came. Because old boy ran. Boy ran to the Titan, and then he realized, oh, shit, I can't fight. I don't know. Maybe.
You talking about the supply guy.
Yeah, the supply guy. But maybe that's another, that's another thing that we should look at, too. Because, again, maybe it wasn't a revenge arc. Maybe he felt like, how you could do everything right in a scenario, but you still feel powerless. I feel like maybe that's why he felt powerless. So it's in that time when he did gain his abilities and stuff, he became strong. He started to realize hey, I don't want to, when you feel powerless and then you finally have a little bit of power, you don't want to go back to being where you were.
Right.
So I think maybe that was a motivator.
I think what it was is he was able to experience the future and the past at once
combined
at one time. It was all happening. It wasn't like he was seeing the future. It was like he already experienced it. He already felt it. He had already lived it. So the decisions that he made, he felt like it had to happen. He felt like his mom had to be eaten so he can go on the path that he goes on. So it's
like a classic. It's like a classic villain.
Yeah, like Doctor Strange type shit.
Yeah, he had to have his hands broke.
Yeah, he had to go through that.
I think,
I don't know if I can make that type of decision. I wouldn't have made that decision.
No, that's crazy.
We'd have just been in war for another 1,000 years.
But maybe he didn't make the decision. Maybe it was a subconscious decision because it's like.
Nah, bro.
I don't want to get off track. But
nah, bro. I don't want
to get off track, but it's like Kanye losing his mom. We got the Kanye we got now. But,
yeah.
Okay. I can see that, but
you see what I mean?
I don't think that's what happened. This dude.
But maybe in a more like
you know how they talk about generational trauma. Like Eren was generationally trolling his family members. Trolling his family members. He trolled his father till he went insane. He trolled his older brother. He had his mama eating. Eren was tripping.
Definitely
it's definitely just he's like a trauma baby.
Yeah.
But throughout Attack on Titan, you see like the walls playing a really big part. You know what I mean? Like the walls are definitely a big part overall of the story, of the theme. So briefly, I think we should touch on the symbolism of the walls, not just physical, but definitely like societal as well. What do you think that the walls represent? Let's start with you, Crunk.
I definitely think it's a huge like psychological factor because when you think about it, after seeing the first colossal titan breakthrough, and then they fast forward 5 or 10 years later, I believe in season 1, and then obviously it's like seeing something in real life, you're always gonna have that thought in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
But I think the walls, it just represents like separation as well, because you see, it's almost like for me, what I feel like is like there's different classes inside different parts of the wall. So it's like, obviously from the outside in, it's less important to most important.
Yeah.
So obviously, they're going to sacrifice the less important people they feel in the farther parts of the walls. Because you notice how like when one part of the wall gets torn down, they just abandon it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go back. They don't try to save it. They just abandon it instead of repairing the wall. But then when the colossal titan broke through, they repaired the wall because it was going to the most important part.
Right.
So I think it's a huge part of the story because obviously, you're kind of confined at that point, and you think you live life pretty ordinarily until there's a giant naked person running through your village or walking through your village, like about to destroy everything. Like, can you imagine how traumatizing that'd be? Like, you just come outside the bar, like you just
see like
20,000, like 20-foot person just standing above, munching,
smiling at you. I'm just running my life, like.
I mean, but
bad boys, you know what I'm saying? While he's running, that's crazy.
Like you think about it, and you're like, yo, like. I'm gonna go back inside. Like I'm just gonna. I don't know. What can you do? Like imagine being like an ordinary person in Attack on Titan.
That's the scariest anime world I believe to be in.
Yeah, 100%. Like
either way, you getting snuffed out, bro.
These big naked ass fans just outside.
And just to clarify, I know that in the manga they explain why they have no genetic like reproduction organs. But I know y'all don't read manga.
Yeah, bro. I ain't reading that. I'm not reading it, bro.
Well, I think I
might watch a YouTube video of somebody else reading it to me. I'm not about to go read. Yeah, I'm not about to go read it. Oh, that'd be like good production. Music going on.
I mean, to be honest with you, like that's just my take on it. I think like obviously like it's a huge psychological thing. Because you're just constantly living in a state of fear.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing you can do. Like I feel like there's really nothing you can do. Like
I think it's also the perfect example of classism. Because again, as you mentioned, as you get deeper into the walls, it's like a different class set as well. So I think overall, like just how they were able to touch on so many like intersectional topics and kind of cover that in its entirety and present that through an anime, I think that is like one of a kind for real.
Isn't that crazy though? Like to have classism in that environment, like, that's wild.
And I think it's more of like a homage to the creators, because I know most of the creators of anime are Japanese, and they do have a classism, like older Japanese hierarchy. Everything was based on class, and even to like now, there's some form of classism where whether people want to admit it or not, in every social or socio-economical environment, there's class. You know,
I just couldn't imagine living in an environment where Titans are on your ass like every day. Huge Titans are just breaking through the walls, and then you and your neighbor is like, "I'm better than you." Like, what the hell?
I mean, could you imagine being placed like? Could you imagine like feeling like you're important and you get placed in like the shittiest class?
Bro.
Like you're like
On
the
that
first
wall.
wall. like you're like, you know, you wake up, you're like,
They thought they was living good by the outer wall at first, though. They was out there tossing footballs and shit. Like, they was chilling.
I think also
I
the
don't even
walls.
think they get a wall. I think they get a fence. Like,
Yeah, I think also the walls kind of reinforce like this system they created of control and conformity. You know what I mean? Because with that, it's also like a level of ignorance as well. They kept the general population to, like, them folks don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on watching it. You know. So yeah, I think the walls honestly are a good symbolism, and I like how they utilized it within the anime.
Yeah, I thought that was really good too. I'm gonna agree with what you both said. I do believe it kept the people in a bubble, but I believe they built the walls for two reasons. One was to like give the people a ease of mind, to like control.
Mhm.
The second was to keep the Titans away from Levi. I think they was trying to protect them goddamn Titans from Levi, because
Yeah,
Levi
Levi
was
cold.
fucking them up. He was a one-man army.
Yeah, Levi was cold, man.
They could have just put him outside of the outer wall, and they would have been straight.
let him do his thing.
Him and Mikasa,
Yeah.
they'd have been straight. Yeah, but I think the walls are just like to keep the people with a peace of mind. I mean, in any type of turmoil, you still try to keep people like with some type of sanity in the mind.
Yeah, you know.
I couldn't imagine living that close and having these big Titans being able to. I keep saying that, but it's so real. Like, I imagine. I don't know if that was a huge fear for people at first, but after watching Attack on Titan, that definitely became a fear of mine. Just like big ass Titans,
Yeah,
just smiling at you at the window.
Yeah, that shit creepy, bro.
That's creepy as hell.
It's creepy.
With that creepy ass smile. What was the name of that movie? Smile.
yeah, smile. Yeah,
It's just having that smile, knowing that they about to
they about to do something
devour
crazy.
you. They about to.
Like they looking at you like, yeah, damn Wingstop.
Man, they turn Eren Mama to a snack, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like,
Turn his mama to a snack.
I like you see in the anime, like they pick them up, they fling them in their mouth like a damn chicken finger or something. I'm like, man,
Ignorance
Respect,
really,
bro.
ignorance really is bliss in that type of environment, bro.
Yeah, I can imagine it.
But you know, piggybacking off of that, I think at the origin, of course, of the Titans is Ymir Fritz. So honestly, I think we wouldn't be doing any justice to reviewing Attack on Titan if we did not touch on Ymir, you know, and her importance in the overall story. So in your opinion, what's your take on her origin story?
I think she had one of the best backstories in Attack on Titan, because you get to see like how long somebody could be at that pure Titan state. Because if I remember correctly, she was in that Titan form for like 100 years or something. I think she was like in 100 years before she ate the Jaw Titan.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, so
I might be
she was
wrong,
at
but
the pure Titan state for like 100 years. So she lost family, friends, everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then she was able to get some type of closeness back to humanity by eating a Jaw Titan. So, like, you know what I'm saying? At first, when you introduced to these Titans, you like, damn, these Titans evil, they eating people or whatever. And then you run across her backstory and you kind of, like, feel sorry for this Titan a little bit. Like, damn, she was gone 100 years. You know what I'm saying? She's not on either side.
Mm-hmm.
She's making a friend, but she's a Titan, though, at the end of the day. So,
Ymir?
huh?
Ymir?
Yeah, she was the little short one, right? That was running with the big-ass jaw.
Bro, Ymir is the one that served the king from where the 9 founding Titans came from.
the Eldians.
Yeah.
Oh. Hold on. You gotta go this whole spiel. I'm like, I'm
We
cooking.
talking about Annie?
No, Annie is the female
The
Titan.
female Titan.
Like, I'm talking about the other one.
Ymir is a female as well.
Ymir was the one who's enslaved by the Eldians.
Yeah. So for me, for Ymir, right, I feel like it's interesting to navigate the trauma bond that she had with the king and the twisted servitude that ended up kind of being the upending of the world. So I kind of struggled with that backstory. I struggle with it, but I guess it would be the perfect representation of what someone would refer to as Stockholm syndrome, right?
Yeah.
But I think the choice to willingly be enslaved, I just can't comprehend it. The only thing I can equate that to is maybe having, some type of fear surrounding the unknown or being unaware of the future if you decide to shape it for yourself, right? And I think that's probably the place that Ymir was stuck at, because you got to also look at, she was a child when she was gifted with the curse of the Titans, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like the gift given to her by the source of all living matter was meant as a means of empowerment, but she ultimately used it to enslave herself and her future generations, So I think this also kind of corresponds to the whole what is freedom worth question. And it kind of makes you lean into like, what does freedom actually look like if you've never navigated that before?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how could you navigate that off the back of being enslaved and being powerless and kind of having that psychological aspect as well, and not necessarily dealing with that either. So I feel like Ymir's failure to walk in her purpose and free herself and essentially choose herself kind of fuels this cycle of violence that almost ends the world. And I feel like her will is further twisted into an endless means of retribution. Like, she allowed herself to be twisted into this weapon of mass destruction, and that was not the initial intent. And I really struggle with, the person that she allowed herself to be in future generations, because she lost her sense of self, right? But then at the same time, to add some nuance to it, how is she supposed to know as a child?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it makes perfect sense. 100%.
That was a good way to clean that up, though, because I totally jumped. But no,
are you cool, bro?
Yeah, no, Ymir, yeah, she did have like a crazy story, and I believe, like, now that I know who we're talking about, when she died, she had her daughters eat her, right?
Yeah, the king forced her 3 kids to eat her.
She can keep her powers.
Right.
No, that's okay. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
those 3 kids are actually the names of the 3 walls.
The 3 walls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like,
because there's like, what, 9 Titans or something?
Yeah, 9 founding Titans. And I just feel like at some point the Titans are indistinguishable from, this motif.
Their original form.
Yeah, like they breed this violence and they lose themselves to vengeance. Like you can't separate them at this point,
So would you say that, now this is a question from a non-Attack on Titan fan.
Okay.
Since I'm new to the game, would you say that Eren and the Titans are no different in terms of how they lost their original face? Let's call it that. Like, they lost their original face. Since the Titans were no longer originally what they were before, they changed over time. Do you think that the Titans and Eren are more similar than any other references in the anime?
Like the other Titans and Eren, are they? Absolutely.
Are they similar because of how they weren't originally what they started as? And over time they changed dramatically.
So the other side, I don't mean to cut you off, but the other side, they started off as child soldiers. They was kind of like brainwashed into becoming Titans, to carrying out missions. That's why you see like the Colossal Titan and the Armor Titan like screaming out for the Beast Titan when he finally arrived, and they like, yeah, we want to go home, because they was kids when they sent them over there. Yeah. The only one that I would say was different is Armin. When he became a Titan, like, he still had like the original goals that he was.
His like same sanity.
Yeah. But we don't really get to see Armin as a Titan for very long in the show, so maybe he could have ended up being like one of the other ones, previously. But I would just say Armin's probably different than the rest of them as a Titan.
I feel like the intent, especially when you get into the Titans from Marley, was always violence.
Yeah.
It was always violence. Eren chose that path. So, I would say the original intent, right, when Ymir was blessed with this so-called gift, was a sense of protection right, and fighting back. But she then utilized it to enslave herself further. So yeah,
which is very strange. Maybe do you think she enslaved herself because she realized the true potential or the true power or destruction of the Titan?
I think she was a kid, so I really do think it was like fear of the unknown.
Yeah,
I mean,
like ongoing theme in the show too.
The fear of the
Kids.
yeah, you know, at like 12, 13, bro, you get bestowed with this power.
Yeah.
You were previously a slave. And now you have access directly to the king. There's also some status involved with that they don't necessarily touch on. What would that look like for you? What would you choose?
Destruction.
Yeah.
It almost sound like you really like Attack on Titan.
Bro, hell.
Almost. It sound like you really fucking
I think,
Attack.
to be honest with you, like in terms of like looking at it from the outside in, like I think I agree with that because like most kids like the fear of the unknown is there, but more so I feel like children will choose violence over or like more so destruction. It's like, you know, a little kid playing with toys, like of course they're going to choose destruction. So I think maybe that's why she kind of imprisoned herself or enslaved herself, because she knew like, okay, this is path is only destruction. Like that's all that can come of this.
Yeah.
Because if they're Titans, essentially that's like their only goal.
Yeah.
So from basically hearing what you guys are saying, that's where I kind of feel like it makes more sense that way, because it's like, of course that you know, it's like if you give someone the powers of Superman, and of course like they have a shitty moral compass, what are they gonna do?
And like you said, bro, to piggyback off that, I think it releases her from having to struggle with that sense of morality.
Yeah. Because you know, she's a kid, so who's gonna stop themselves from coming up and saying, hey, you know, it's like that badass little kid at a cookout. You know, hey, go punch this dude. And what are they gonna do? They're gonna go do it because again, they're a kid. They don't think about the consequences or the thereafter of it.
But not only that though, but like if it's a kid and one of you tell this kid like, hey, go do this, and when they come back from doing it, you like, that was a good job. Yeah. Keep doing that. You know, they're gonna believe that they're doing something good.
Or if you don't, and there's the fear or if you don't tell them that they're doing a good job, then there's like the fear of dissatisfaction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like that's why I say like maybe I feel like more so along the lines of like it's that reason, because there's so many like cons, like negative aspects that can come of this. So it's like there's nothing positive that can come of it, because you're either controlled by someone or you're never enough for this person. Like you may have gone and destroyed cities, worlds, villages, you know, done all this stuff, and they come back and they're like, it's not enough, like we need more. And it's like, well, how much more do you need,
right?
And in that term, so it's like it's better to just enslave yourself so no one can really do anything to you, or make you do anything.
It's just interesting to see Ymir kind of navigate the like how she went about things, like, and it kind of makes you question like, at what point did she have free will? Did she even know that she had free will at all, you know? And I think that kind of does circle us back to Eren, where you know, people have like different opinions on Eren overall, whether he's a hero, villain, or god, right? So did you guys feel like Eren had free will, or did you feel like everything was preordained through the paths?
So I believe he did have free will. I believe I'm just being real. I believe he chose that shit. He chose everything. He had the power to the founding Titan, which allowed him to see the past, present, and future at the same time. So he had this ability, and this was the best decision that he thought he could make, with seeing the future and, you know what I'm saying, and knowing the past, being able to live the past and the future and being the present. He thought this was the best decision that he could make.
Maybe it was at the time.
Maybe it was though. You know what I'm saying? Like none of us.
Maybe there's something that they didn't show us. You know,
none of us had the weight of this power on us. You know what I'm saying? So like maybe he made the best decision he thought he could make. You know, but I think he did have free will. I don't think he was a slave to his power. I think he seen what he saw, and he made a decision. Yeah, he just made a decision.
Or his head at that point.
Yeah. I do think that the paradox of time, as like science is now recently coming out and supporting this theory that like time is not linear. Right. You know, time folds on itself. Yeah. So you're experiencing all three elements at the same time. So I think even with that aspect, that will probably provide Eren more grace in how he went about things, because even though he had this power time isn't necessarily linear. He's probably experiencing all of these things at once, right?
Yeah.
But I will say that he did have free will. And even though things were written, he chose his path. He wrote it, you know?
Yeah. If he sees everything, then obviously he's going to see the future.
Exactly.
Of the choices or the consequences or, pros and cons of whatever choice he makes. So
yeah, so
sorry to cut you off.
And he was able to change the past.
Yeah, so his ability to bend time to his will kind of shows that, like, your actions and your will really dictates your path. Like, nothing is set in stone. It's all about what you make it. And he definitely chose that. I don't feel like he's a hero, though.
No, he's definitely not a hero.
So you think he's a villain? You said earlier he had a revenge arc. So
me and Eren got a complicated relationship.
Would it be? So I think it's fair to say that you think he'd be more like a anti-hero.
No,
so
yeah, he's
more like he's not doing for evil, but he's not doing it for good. He's just doing it. He's like in between, obviously.
It seems like it's all like for self-serving reasons. Even though it may be inherently good as far as community.
But that would be an anti-hero. Because you're not essentially doing it for you're not doing it because it's good. You're just doing it because it's good for you, or like it's convenient for you.
I'm gonna label him a villain just because 80% of the population ain't had to die.
Fair enough.
Just off the strength.
You're doing this for the world, and then you gotta kill the world.
Murk 80% of people.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy to me.
But then again, this touches on the point that we just made earlier about placing this type of power on children. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a child.
What is it with anime and putting giving the nuke to 10-year-olds?
Because I think it perfectly captures what it looks like to be at a crossroads and not have enough nuance, understanding, or development to make a proper decision. Because there's no kid in an anime series that has made a good decision. That makes a good decision.
I mean,
maybe it's a contradiction to us as adults.
Real life,
us as or not a contradiction, but more so a reflection of us as adults in life. It's no matter what decision you make, there's no perfect decision, or
for sure
there's no there's no way you can predict any outcome to anything. So it's Eren could have done what he did, and even with him seeing the past, present, and the future all at the same time, there's no decision that he makes that puts him in a good place, because maybe we don't know the other side of it. Maybe now 20% of the population would have died, but then 80% of the population would have lived, and then it would have just kept going on and on and on. So it's how many generations are you willing to fight, or centuries are you willing to fight? So it could have it could have been worse. He could have lost 90% of the population, or 95% of the population. So we don't know, obviously. So
that's cap, man. He said himself I just want to make sure my friends live. That was one of his motivations.
Hey man, he said it's for the boys. It's for the boys.
And then killed his mama, bro.
He didn't kill his mom.
He killed his mom.
Bro, you gotta watch the rest, man. You gotta get through it.
We're talking about Eren. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta watch the rest,
He's a
man.
villain, bro.
All right.
He's a villain. And they did it so good. In the beginning, you root for him, and then it's just chill, bro.
I feel like
that's your father you talking to,
That's what makes it good. When you have a good villain, or a good, just a bad character that, has the weight of the world, or the power of the decision making for the world.
Yeah, I think they did. Now again, I got a lot of gripes against Attack on Titan, but I think just overall they allowed space to show how conflicted Eren was. You know what I mean? And they allowed that story to develop, although very, very slowly over them 4 seasons, but they allowed that to develop, and you see a lot of his struggles. And so you do resonate a lot with him, in certain things. But by the time you get to the end, you're like, man, this nigga bugging. I can't support this.
I mean, yeah.
But
I think it's a certain point, you kind of root for a villain sometimes, and then you see they just do something that's way over the top, and you're like, yo, I can't.
What villain you be rooting for, bro?
I mean, I don't want to get sidetracked, but there's only one villain in the history of the world who can kind of compare to Eren, and that's Thanos. Because what did Thanos do? Thanos sacrificed half of the population for what? To save the entirety of the planet, or to preserve everything. You can't sit there and you can't. I mean, just I'm gonna say this, and you can't watch that. Him talking even with Doctor Strange, and he's talking the snap of my fingers, simply I can make half the population go away, and it's of course he had a backstory for the reason why he did it, but I think they're very comparable because again, maybe there was another motive, an ulterior motive that. Maybe that's why. Maybe he wanted more supplies and more food for his homies.
I don't know what Eren was trying to do, bro.
So to you guys, I guess, what are some underlying themes that resonated with you so far from what you watched, Crunk?
I think it's the classism. The classism is highlighted very well, and I think it's just the overall morality of everything in the show, because what I feel is they obviously they're kids and they're trying to make the best decision of what's possible, of what possibly could be a good outcome of everything. But when you're a kid, you don't think you don't think about these things. But I think so far from what I watched, it's very good. You see the classism is highlighted very well in season 1. Obviously, when I talked about earlier with the walls and the different segments of the walls, how you have the higher class people who are the business owners and everything inside the interior main part, which is so heavily fortified. And it's almost they don't care to sacrifice, because I think when they lost the outer walls, they lost 20% of the population. Mm-hmm. So it's if each ring is 20% of the population, how far are you willing to go?
Yeah. And
I think that's just, obviously for me, that's the biggest thing that I saw highlighted, because again, these people go out. They don't let them come in, but they go out. The scouts go out and they fight the Titans. Yeah. But they're not allowing them to, obviously break in as best they can. Obviously when the Colossal Titan came and broke down the wall, obviously they got in. But then you saw they made a bigger deal about that than when the Titans broke down on the outside.
For sure.
Because they're oh, shoot, this dude's right here, he's close to us. So of course, that's the biggest thing is I think they're fighting for nothing. Who's to say why can't they just fight for themselves? And maybe that was Eren's decision. He kills 80% of the population because he says, I'm tired of fighting for people. Because if I have to fight for you every day, and you're just sitting there, you're obviously if you're just doing nothing, which seems like a lot of people do in Attack on Titan. You watch the show, there's just people walking around doing nothing, and of course you see the Titans in the middle of the road, and you see the scouts fighting, and it's okay, well, how many years are you going to let go by where you constantly fight for someone who never defends you, never stands up for you once, never nothing?
Yeah.
And that's my takes.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, one of the themes is inherited redemption and guilt. Like you said with the Marleyans, trying to punish the Eldians. You see it with Eren trying to get redemption for what happened to his father. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end of it, you just find out that's all bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can never, you're going to end up causing way more harm trying to, you know what I'm saying, go out there and try to get redemption or trying to rectify a situation. And it's inherited. Eren didn't grow up hating the Marleyans. He didn't even know who the Marleyans was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was placed on him.
Yeah.
And then just to come find out that he caused way more damage seeking revenge or redemption than, you know what I'm saying, he would have got just eating with his mama. I don't want to say that. But they could have saved so many people if he just let him go back over there with his mama.
No facts.
Yeah.
I think for me, some things that resonated with me watching it was the reality of what the struggle for freedom looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But that in and of itself kind of made me disassociate with the show. I didn't. Every other episode, somebody I like getting murked.
We could talk.
That's a good anime. I mean,
bro.
It's
about that in a second.
it's like me with Demon Slayer. My boy Rengoku, R.I.P. It's every
Attack on Titan different.
It's different.
It's OD, bro.
It's different.
It's OD. I get close to a character, I start getting invested.
Yeah, I still ain't got over Marlo.
Exactly.
For that. I was like, Marlo, he cool as hell.
Yeah, so it was that. Kind of the cycle of violence and hate. and how that kind of transcends through time. You know what I mean?
It was centuries.
The price of being ignorant to the past, and I think that
Yeah.
kind of parallels to society overall
Modern
currently.
society, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What is leadership? I think Attack on Titan did a good job outlining what leadership truly is, where it's more so sacrifice. It's like leading from the front,
Yeah.
not giving directions from the back. And also, another thing that I really explored watching it was kind of like how love and destruction seems to walk hand in hand.
And it's like two sides of the same coin.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
You know? So, yeah. I mean, that in and of itself was, again, a really good theme that I just had to really sit with watching that.
What do you think is more powerful, doing something out of love or something out of hate?
I think they're both equally powerful. 100%. I've done a lot of shit out of hate. I'm real spiteful.
Yeah.
You know? I've also done things out of love. So I think, honestly, the intention always holds weight. I think hate just leans more into destruction.
Yeah, typically tends to be a common theme, very common. But I think from what I've watched so far, I think you kind of obviously as the story progresses, I feel like they've set it up very well to kind of explain the different things. But I'm enjoying it so far. None of this spoils it for me. I'm still gonna watch it.
It's really good though, bro.
Yeah.
It's really good, and it's gonna see.
In fact, it like kind of motivates me more to watch it, as much as I can.
Yeah, it's gonna send you to a ton of emotions.
But I think we'll jump into our final ratings and see where everybody places. I'll let Wash go first because she had some pretty controversial talks about this when we were doing the episode. Structure. So I think we'll let her go first.
I will rate the show 4 out of 10.
A what?
A 4 out of 10.
No, you fucking.
I'm for like the main thing that drove me up the wall was the pacing of the show. You're not gonna.
It was too slow.
You're not gonna know shit till season 4, bro. You smiling right now. Watch. You gonna be frustrated watching it and feeling like you're missing things, or like, okay, like what's going on? Like,
You're like, yo, did I just miss a whole episode or something?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Every other, episode, somebody new getting murked, and you like,
you can't really connect to a character,
and you don't know what's going on. So yeah, I give it a 4 out of 10 for that. Definitely the pacing really messed it up for me. Overall, it seems like the philosophical undertones are very ambiguous. You know what I mean? Because you start off really like fucking with Eren. Yeah. Eren gonna be one of them ones.
and flip flop.
And it just flip flops and you kind of lose yourself. I appreciate the nuance and they show kind of that struggle, but it's like, where is the moral compass?
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
I can understand that.
I like it because of that though. Like no side is inherently evil or good though, because you can see both sides to that. You can see where the Marleyans come from because the Eldians was messing them up for thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly why they
have it the way
they put them on an island and let them kill each other.
If you have bad, they say 2 wrongs don't make a right.
So that was one of the reasons why I did like it. There's really no good side or bad side in the show.
What's your rating?
My personal rating, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
That's pretty high up there. I feel like that's.
She's not lying about like the pacing with the 4th season, but what I did appreciate about the pacing is a lot of the foreshadowing they was doing like the first and second season, and it kind of pays off in the last season.
Yeah,
but it shouldn't take you 4 seasons to get to that. I feel like they should have dropped a lot more information along the way, and it would have made it like more conducive. I feel like, along with like having that along the way, along with the character development they were doing, it would have made it a much better show for me. But again, like the ambiguity to it all, and how they kind of had a lot of.
Say that one more time.
Fuck
okay,
you.
all right.
Fuck you.
That's what I thought I had.
No, we're gonna let that rock.
We're gonna keep going.
Yeah. But yeah, how kind of like loose a lot of the moral themes were that they started off with. I just could not connect with it later on, along with the pacing. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
It just wasn't it, man.
Like I said, I like it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. what I will agree on, the fourth season, they didn't have to give you like 3 different parts to it. It's like part 1, part 2, part 3 or something.
Movie.
I think overall when I looked, it's like 100 episodes total.
Yeah.
Plus, not including whatever movies they might have.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I don't know if it's the same with Attack on Titan, but sometimes they split the movies up into episodes. I'm not sure if it's the same if they're counting that, but I think overall 100 episodes. So
yeah, and then like and also on the fourth season, it's like a major switch immediately. Like from season 1 to 3, you rocking with Eren, like you know who Eren is, and then like immediately in the fourth season, or like in the second part or third part of the fourth season, you kind of lose Eren. Like Eren's not even like the main showrunner anymore. Like he's like a true villain. Like you trying to find out his intentions. Nobody can get up with him. He got his phone on D&D. Like he's just missing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
So I mean, I still give it an 8 out of 10. Though. I like it. I like the character development.
Solid.
Yeah. Armin's my dog. Erwin is pretty decent. Like the character development is really good in the show.
Levi definitely my favorite.
Yeah, Levi
and Mikasa.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
But they side characters, they did really good with the character development. All their characters in this though.
Yeah.
Like even from the crazy scientist lady that was like experimenting on them when she died.
No, you're not spoiling anything.
When she died, you was just like, what the fuck? What was the other girl that was eating the potato girl?
Yeah.
When she turned into a sniper, then she died. You like, damn, like not her too. So like they really did.
Potato girl is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
like I immediately remembered. I knew exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah, like they really did good with connecting you to the characters because you really start like you said earlier, you get connected to these characters.
And then they get killed off, bro. It's worse than Game of Thrones.
Marco, man.
Worse than Game of Thrones is crazy.
It's up there.
It's worse, man.
But I think I'll wrap this up, and I think for me it's a light rating because obviously I'm still in season 1. But I think so far for me, like I can already agree with you. The pacing is kind of wonky for me. Like I'm used to more a faster paced anime, but I think for me, I'd say like it's a good 7 so far. That could change. It could change. But I'd say a good 7.
So it's definitely gonna change, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna have moments you're gonna be like, "Fuck this anime."
Yeah. I think I'm gonna stick with a 7. I think so far the pacing is like my biggest thing. I think that's why I haven't gotten as far as I would like to have gotten because I think for me it's at times I feel like it's a bit slow, and that kind of loses me, So it is what it is. But I think ultimately it'll change. From what you guys are. The whole episode arc and everything, I think I'll be drawn back into it 100%. This is now my 3rd time watching Attack on Titan, so and I think I've gotten this farther this time than anything. The podcast episode motivated.
I actually, before we wrap this up, I actually think that we should all like try to watch something together and then come back and give a review.
100%. I think 100% we should. I think that would be a pretty dope ideology, but. Yeah. On that note, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And if you are listening on Spotify and Apple Podcast, we greatly appreciate you guys' support. If you are not following us yet, be sure to hit that follow button. If you guys have any comments as well, drop a comment on Spotify. Let us know if we missed anything or let us know your takes on Attack on Titan. That's it for this episode of the Side Quest Saga. We will see you on the next quest.